I'm afraid you're the one who doesn't understand yourself. I'm not telling you to understand everything right away. Just be aware that there are many things you don't know. I don't care what Master Yada said. Don't get too carried away. Now that you're a part of GU, I won't allow you to do anything foolish. This is not a game for us. I will have you follow our directions. That's the quickest way for you to understand what you claim to be understand what you claim to be cryptic. And please stop taking your emotions out on me like a child. I would advise you to think long and hard on your goals and interests and what is best for them. Are there other players besides Shino who fell into a coma? GU stands for, actually, I don't know either. I'm not actually employed by CC Corp. I was just a regular player. If anything, I'm more like you than like them. There's a lot of things they haven't told me. As for getting used to your avatar, there's no need to rush. It's not like me or Pi could use our avatar well right away. Can you tell me more about Pi? Dear Haseo, thank you for your regular patronage to the world. We have fulfilled the Guildmaster and change request. Guild name Kennard. Guildmaster name Haseo. First, we recommend that you go to your town and enter your guilds at home. From there, try talking to the NPC admin. Guildmasters are endowed with several unique authorities in order to manage their guilds. Please always remember that power and responsibility comes intrinsically linked, and we hope you fulfill your responsibilities to the world. If you're not sure why you received this email, please contact our customer center. We apologize for the inconvenience.
Guildmaster, huh? Well, I guess I'll go to At Home then.
I finished registering the change for the Guildmaster. You should get an email from C Corp about it. Just to remind you, Kennard's goal is to help beginners by giving them support. We don't concentrate on leveling up and stuff. What's truly important cannot be expressed with parameters. As far as we're concerned, what's important is consideration. That's what Kuhn always used to say. Congrats, let's both do our best to make Kennard the best guild around. Oh, guilds aren't exclusive, so you can join another one without having to quit Kennard. The more children are captivated by video games, the more parents worry. There have been times when TV, movies, and every book, even books, are said to influence our children in negative ways. However, with online games, children are interacting with a large, indefinable number of people in real time, providing a clear division line from the previous examples. With TV and movies, age restrictions, ratings, and parental supervisions can and should be used, but online, it is impossible to control the voices of other players, and these kids are exposed to. The news reports say that well over 90% of grade school students who have tried an online game has had a bad experience in one form or another. Half of that 90% say that they become depressed when they remember those bad experiences. We should all discuss the ill effects of allowing our young socially developing children to play these games which involve complex human interactions under a veil of anonymity. The Administration Relations Bill has been passed with a majority vote. With this, the digitalization of our government approaches its final stages. Starting this month, all local servers managed by regional government will be frozen, and all the various ID rules used by self-governing bodies will be unified in federal government specifications. In addition, it will become required for all governing bodies to adopt a numbering system, and for all citizens to wear their own number at all times for administrative purposes. The system introduced to speed by government processes by conducting them online is already being used in online banking, shopping, and other sites. By using a receiver placed in one's home, all Japanese citizens will be able to use their cell phones or mobile computers to access a variety of services from anywhere in the country. Yet, in spite of the increasing convenience we have today, the system has met with severe opposition. Recently, the Independent Japanese Party won many seats in the lower house of the Diet because of their popular position of abandoning the bill altogether. Calls for all political parties to discuss this bill are still continuing, and the problem has attracted a lot of media attention. Mr. Koji, chief editor at the weekly magazine Netwatcher, has this to say: "It is true that the system will make things very convenient, but when you compare the time when the bill was first approved to now, encryption technology has made a huge leap. The NAB, Network Administration Bureau, has been established, and some semblance of order has been brought to the internet. There are far fewer data leaks, and at first glance, it would appear that there is no problem whatsoever." However, take a moment to think. In exchange for the IT advancements and more convenient lifestyle, we have to reduce to being defined as 15-digit combination. This is no different from ear tags placed on cows or horses to tell them apart. It's no wonder the people are so opposed to this degrading system. Despite all this, the system has made its through to legal process and will soon be a part of our lives. Will you ever come a day when we'll come?
The Online Administration Act received a majority vote of the ruling party, meaning the adoption of the citizen numbering system seems to be inevitable. As a result, the process of converting to an electronic government has overcome its final hurdle.
Online games turn some people into business people. However, you won't find them running a company. Instead, they too are just playing the game. In New York suburb, Mr. A has founded a business known as a guild, where he employs other players in a competitive, efficient, mechanical purpose to level up, gain items, and earn money. The guild then proceeds to sell the data his employees have gathered in online auctions to other players. Where the motto of online games are our business, Mr. A is sure to use to be a hot topic among players who merely wish to have fun. Although many players don't go as far as to make it to the their profession like Mr. A. There are numbers of players who conduct RMTs as a way to supplementing their income. It's deplorable how so many players have forgone the pleasure of leveling up their character manually for the quick solution offered by money, said a noted online game developer. However, the game makers are also to blame, as they are the ones who design the area and events, and can only be completed by putting several hours of playtime. Short for real money trading. This refers to players conducting transactions with real money for data, such as virtual items, characters, or in-game currency. This throws off the game's balance and causes the host of other problems, which has led to RMT becoming a banned activity for most games. Several years after the call of borderless food began, anti-allergen food has now formed in the public's grasp. The anti-allergen food selection at the market has expanded, and well-known brands are selling well. Anti-allergen food has all substances that would trigger allergic reactions scientifically removed. Many of them are even designed without using any actual foodstuff at all. Current examples include hamburger patties with no trace of allergy-causing eggs or milk, and milk that has had its protein finally analyzed and its allergens repressed. Parents of children with allergies are thrilled. We can relax and all eat the same food with our kids. We have so many more choices when we go shopping, and our children couldn't be happier. However, some people like Yamatame University's professors Jen Inoue are ringing the warning bells of breaking down borders. It's wonderful that people are working and cooperating so that everyone can eat equally. However, it is ironically far too dangerous to remove all dangerous properties from our foods. Today's dining table is a textbook example of germ-free environment. Should the day come when, for one reason or another, we find ourselves without access to these germ-free, allergen-free food, we will find ourselves in a bacterial crisis, which will threaten every one of us. The name of this antigen's allergy-causing substance, best known by common examples include eggs and milk, which cause food allergies, and perfume, which causes drug allergies. Because antigens vary from every person, it is difficult to specify which substance can become allergens. To the nice guy at the shop. Thanks for Dusty Miller. Saku was grateful. She may have looked angry, but actually I know that she was really happy. Since Saku is happy, I'm happy too. I have you to thank for it, so thanks. Will I be able to meet you again if I go to the guild shop? I'll be coming to return the money, so please wait for me. I'm sorry if it takes me so long to collect the money, but I really want to pay you back. Please don't worry about it. Well, that's it for me right now. From Bo. Yes, let's play again sometime. We're going to start digging for methane hydrate soon. I wonder if that's really okay. The Bermuda problem, global warming, the government says it's okay, but I don't think that was ever the case. For one thing, if the temperature rises just 4 degrees, summers are going to give me fatigue, and I'll probably die. I wish I could stop going down this dangerous road. Excuse me, I have a question. What's the Bermuda problem? Also, what does methane hydrate have to do with global warming? Please forgive my presumptuousness, but I'll try to answer. First, the Bermuda problem. Have you ever heard of the Bermuda Triangle? Legend says ships and airplanes used to disappear there. Originally, they've proven that they weren't just legends. They now believe that ships and aircraft were lost as a result of methane hydrate. Methane hydrate is a crystalline substance formed from the water and highly compressed methane. Normally these things that look like ice sit at the bottom of the ocean, but rapid movement of the Earth's crust and temperature changes relative to the pressure and heating causes them to release their methane into the air. When traveling over a large release of methane, ships lose their float. Also, airplane engines stop and there may be mid-air explosions. When you consider that Japan is a country with a lot of earthquakes, you can see how that might easily happen here too. Well, that's the basic explanation of the Bermuda problem. Sorry it got so long. In my next response, I'll explain what this all has to do with global warming. Okay, I was talking about the Bermuda problem. Now I'll talk a little about the global warming. Methane is like carbon dioxide leads to global warming, except it is 20 to 60 times more efficient at doing so. If a mass release of methane gas were to take place, the air temperatures would go up by 4 degrees and the ocean temperatures by 6 degrees. They believe that the dinosaurs went extinct because of a similar rapid change in temperature, so it's predicted that it would cause a cataclysmic event on the world. Since the rate of its degradation into the atmosphere is 12 years compared to every 100 years for carbon dioxide, some scientists say it's okay, but some say it's more lethal because it's only 12 years. Furthermore, there's no guarantee that another methane release wouldn't take place during those 12 years. That's why you can't separate the global warming problem from the issue of methane emission problem. I hope that answers your question. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be going. Isn't that scary? So, is mining for methane hydrate really safe? If not, I wish they would stop. By the way, I just thought about it. Methane hydrate is on the bottom of the ocean, right? So could mining become a reason for ground subsidence? I remember hearing that dried up wells were causing some of that. There used to be a book called The Sinking of Japan that caused a big stir, but now I wonder if it's really happening. It's definitely not safe, no. Even the greatest computer breaks down sometimes, and even the most brilliant person makes a mistake. Nothing is perfect in this world, unfortunately. I guess the recent trend of health foods, huh? It even looks like allergy eliminating foods is served at public lunches, served for school lunches. But the thing is, they say that they're safe to eat, but is it really true? It's like living inside a sterile environment, isn't it? What are we going to do if there's a disaster and we all are forced to eat unsanitary foods? I'm afraid our immunity will get lowered, and we'll have a huge outbreak of disease or something. See, modern people are susceptible to small environmental changes. It's really scary. As for me, I couldn't live without an air conditioner. I set it to 65 in the summer and 75 in the winter. I just love civilization, lol. What kind of temperature setting is that? That's the kind of thinking that causes global warming. Young people these days are so soft. Why don't you try organic vegetables? If you have a hard time buying them, you can easily grow carrots, peppers, or cucumbers in a large planter. If you live in a house and have space for a garden, I strongly recommend sweet potatoes. You can eat the leaves and stalk, and even the potatoes themselves when the potatoes themselves aren't in season. The leaves are delicious in miso soup. As for the starch, you could rinse them thoroughly, slice them, then simmer it in soy sauce, or use it in a stew. Try it out. It's true that just being sterile doesn't make it something a health food. I think I'll try growing those sweet potatoes. I've heard of growing cucumbers and peppers at home, but carrots? It sounds kinda hard. You can grow carrots at home for sure, but if you want to grow big carrots, like don't you see in supermarkets, you can't do it in a planter. We use plastic buckets with holes punched in for drainage. If you don't mind mini carrots, planters are great. Using plastic buckets, huh? Thanks, I'm going to try that. So, Stella, you sound like a great wife. Oh, I'm still single, you know. Gardening is just a hobby of mine. Oh, what a waste. Well, Stella, I know you'll make a great wife for someone. It's sad eating dinner all by yourself. Good evening. This is... Okay. I'm the worst cook in the whole world. I went to cooking classes, but my teacher there sighed at me. When I went camping with Leader and the others, they kicked me out of the cooking area. So I eat out every day. In the mornings I have a calorie bar. For lunch I eat the special at a nearby Chinese restaurant. For dinner I have a bento box or bread from the convenience store. On the weekends I get all 3 meals from the supermarket. The other day I bought elimination food for the first time. I always wondered what it was every time I went to the market. I ate it having high hopes, but wow, it was terrible. How could this be hip? Talk about disappointed. If anyone knows of any good tasting allergy elimination foods, please tell me. Or all allergy elimination foods are bound to be terrible. I don't know where I should start. Before you start eating elimination food, I think you should try changing your eating habits. If you keep eating on such an unhealthy diet, you'll get some kind of weird illness. Yeah, your cooking skills was out of the world. But rice. The better known brands taste good, although they're a bit expensive. Love the stew from Martina's Best. Don't call me butt rice. It's rice. Drop it. I've been living an unhealthy life for a long time, and I'm still going. But thanks for the warning anyway. I can only read your name as butt rice. Anyway, 5 seasons, Loco Moco, Bread Ladies Dining Table, Martina's Best. These brands have good food. I checked out the brands you suggested. They're too expensive, leader. You'd have to be a millionaire to eat that stuff regularly. Also, 10 minutes before the supermarket closes, it gets pretty dangerous fighting with the housewives for food. You have to be careful about buying elimination food. At the supermarket, the stew types are overcooked and nasty. But if you make a mistake and bought it, it's best to pour it over rice. The brand name ones are good, but it's true that they're expensive. We only buy them for special occasions. We can't afford them otherwise. See what you mean. Little housewife wisdom, huh? I'll try that this weekend. Thanks for the tip. This is a story from a friend. Playing in the Lost Ground, black dots have been known to appear around your character. Apparently those are windows that connect the world to another dimension. From inside them, you can hear a girl saying, "Hey, wanna play hide and seek with me?" Apparently, if you say yes, you'll be taken off to an alternate dimension, and if you say no or ignore her, the girl will get mad and curse you, leading to a traffic accident 3 days later. To escape successfully from the girl, you supposedly just have to say your mom's here to pick you up. If you do, the girl will ask you where is she? To which you then reply, "Behind you." Then you will hear the girl scream, followed by the black dots disappearing. My friend said he had also heard the story from his friend. I thought this might be an urban legend, which is why I posted it. What do you think? Oh, so there's a rumor like that too. I wonder if it's just following up to the little girl in the hall. It seems more like a ghost story than an urban legend, but I get the impression that this rumor isn't fairly established yet. If it started spreading around the world and real life, I can get the feeling that the black dots part of it would start disappearing, like the little girl in the hall. The important part of this rumor is the girl's voice. Either way, thanks for an interesting rumor. Seems that there have been an increasing number of rumors about the online events having real-life effects. Interestingly, the world especially has been the center of many urban legends as of late, very similar to the ones that were told about Fantasyland, the amusement park that was said to be the holy ground for lovers. That may not be necessarily the case. When one comes to think of the world rumors, they think of keywords such as the girl in white, triad, or the cathedral, and comas. But recently, there have been more and more stories about the black dots. Black dot rumors are nothing more than follow-ups to the other rumors. However, the important thing to focus on is not the genealogy of these rumors, but the reason why the keyword black dots has gathered prominence as rumors. As for the topic, I plan to wait and see how things develop for a while. He too agrees with this. Until next time. Well, that's like a textbook example of an urban legend. Among the rumors I know, black dots are the souls of the players, for those who have fallen into a coma, but have been sucked into the game, and hovered around other players as in an attempt to increase companions. There seems to be a number of recurring patterns, just like the girl in white in Triage. I think I might have an idea about where the black dot rumors came from. Before Crimson vs. servers went down, there apparently was some trouble with black dots appearing on the game screen. Official reports was that was merely a mistake in the game's effect ID, but the players were saying it was because the Crimson vs. servers had become infected with a virus, that's resulting in display bugs appearing. It's not a far cry to say that the spots talked about there could be passed for the dots that we're talking about here. Not to mention both of them were black. So, do you see where I'm going? Judging from the time the rumor began, that theory is impossible. The period in which black spots spawned in Crimson Versus was a very brief period of time, right before the servers went down, about 6 months ago. In contrast, the black dot rumors have been around since the beta servers release for The World R2. The rumors just never spread very far. That's why the rumors had to have come from somewhere else. At that moment, I happened to be investigating that very area. If I find anything else, I'll try to post it here too. And so on. I sent you some new rumors via email. Looking forward to your analysis on it and eventual post. Understood. He too is fired up. We'll get right down to it. Oh, I had no idea. Sorry for jumping to conclusions. Good evening. I'm Oshino8Cs. You seem to be having a very interesting discussion. I've only heard the rumors about the black dots. However, the rumors I heard wasn't about the black dots, but the black windows. The only thing different is specifically what's said to come from beyond the window. The fact that something came from beyond the dots in and of itself is exactly the same. Very interesting indeed. This is the first of this type that I've heard. I wonder if these type of rumors began to deteriorate somewhere. Names. Most common is black dots. After that, we have black windows and black doors. Rumor patterns. First stage is the actual contact with the dots. The second stage is the occurrence of harm. Examples: being PK'd by triage, your real life self, and your game character switch places. However, there's also the rumors that rumors for a non-harmful phenomenon has said to occur, meeting a deceased friend's relative. In the second stage, the rumors of the black dots themselves also causing harm is something that came up recently. The ones who started those rumors, the younger generation players in the world. May not be much, but this is about all I know of now. I await further information. Perhaps it's because I rushed, but I'm rather tired and going to sleep along with him. for a bit later. Here's my shot at drawing Haseo, the DR2 celebrity who is known as Terror of Death. I just bought this brush pen yesterday and wasted no time trying it out. But it has been a long time that my arm was shaking, haha. He's scary. Man, this guy's really amazing. In a lot of ways, he's a rogue yet amazingly strong. Long, long ago, before the earth and heavens existed, two brothers lived in the world. Able to reach each other's hearts without so much of a glance, the two were fairly satisfied. Their world is two. The world were the world. The world were the world. The two worlds were the world. One day, the elder deity accidentally broke the younger deity's treasure sword. Furious, the younger deity retaliated by slashing elder deity's treasure started spear with his broken sword. The spear was split in half. The elder deity erupted in anger, and so glaring at each other, one holding his broken sword and the other broken spear, they fought. The war waged for 7 days and 7 nights. On the 8th day, the younger deity realized their foolishness and went to the other deity to request a truce. The other deity, still blind with anger, saw this as an opening to thrust his spear. The spear pierced the chest of the younger deity and took his life. The younger deity's final breath became the heavens, and his fallen body became earth. The fountain of blood erupted high and became the sun. The broken swords shattered and formed the moon, and the stars in the heavens. Feeling great shame, the elder deity wept. His tears became rain that fell to earth, forming oceans in its deep contours. From eternal tranquility, the world was set into motion. The elder deity mourned the loss of the younger deity for many years, but eventually he grew accustomed to his sad, lonely life. One day, unable to bear his loneliness any longer, the elder deity removed one of his eyes and created the goddess. The new goddess looked at the elder deity and exclaimed, "Thou art handsome," and with her voice, the world was filled with sound. The elder deity and the new goddess gave names to each other. The elder deity received the name of Soul, the goddess of creation, and the goddess Mulin, the goddess of harvest. Then the elder deity created a land of the dead, in the darkest part of the world. He sealed the spirits of the younger deity and gave him the name of Ninos, Lord of the Dead. This was how all things were named and given a purpose. Sol gave birth to more gods and goddesses. Mulin gave the new goddesses names, and Sol gave them purpose. One ruled the sun, the other ruled the oceans. One ruled the waiting thread, the other the stove. This was how the sun traveled the skies, and the ocean beat against the shore. The loom spit out thread, and the stove held the fire within. Sol gave birth to trees, plants, beasts, birds, fish, and insects. They all spread throughout the world, each filling a place of life. The world is filled with life. Last to create were the elves. Sol created them in his image, and it was them that he loved best. Sol asked all his gods and all his creatures to grant the elves their blessing. Each god, goddess, and creature happily gave his blessing to the elves. As a result, the elves were faster, stronger, smarter, even more beautiful than any other creature. More so, they could speak the language of all creatures. However, Cernunnos, the Lord of the Dead, withheld his blessing from the elves. Unaware of darkness, the elves' hearts were ever wrapped in light. But because of it, they were incredible innocence. They had an incredible innocence in them. The gods entrusted the earth to the elves and created their own realm in the heavens known as Shirai, the City of Dawn. And so the elves ruled the earth and the gods ruled the heavens. The gods built a path connecting earth and heaven and called it the Heavenly Path. Heavenly Path was used to deliver the light from the heavens and the gods down to earth. Guarded by this light, the sun and light of the gods, life on earth flourished, and it seems that peace would last forever. But as time passed, the elves began to believe that their powers equaled those of the gods. They built the aerial fortress for Olum in the sky to enter the realm of the gods, insisting that they too be treated as deities. Sol was furious, and he took from the elves all that was good in them. The elves became slower, weaker, and uglier than any of the creatures. Milan scorned these foolish creatures and named them humans. There were some who protested the treatment of the elves at the hands of the gods. These were the elves who had not wished to challenge the gods to begin with. They stormed the heavenly path and threw themselves before the gods, crying, "Why must you punish us when it was not we who drew our swords against you?" The gods answered, "That is true, but that is not the only sin." The elves asked again, "What do you mean by only? What do you mean by that, O gods?" God answered back, "Very well then. When your brethren raised their sword against us, they were you, and what were you doing?" To that the elves replied, We were at the altar praying to you, our gods. We prayed for the fools who disobeyed you would receive your divine punishment." The gods retorted, Were you not merely praying for your own lives to be spared?" The elf's face turned red and could not reply. Suddenly the gods showed their anger. "You are more foolish than the fools who do not know their place, lower even than humans. For this day on, you shall wear a mask, showing your supposed innocence and pity." And just as this thundering judgment were made, each of the elves that gathered at the heavenly path began to transform. They grew tails, and then the beautiful face turned into those of beasts. When they saw how they changed, they screamed in shame and disappointed the darkest corners of the world. Having lost their wisdom, the humans brought war and chaos to the world. They had been reduced to creatures concerned only with domination, and so they commenced to many wars on all of the races. Sol gazed down on down in sadness as the ruined earth and decided to use the goddess, and use the goodness that he had taken from the elves and create the race of the Grunties. He dispatched them and returned the peace to the world. But the gods were afraid that the Grunties would suffer the same flaw of the elves and voice objections to Soul's action. And so Soul cast a curse on the Grunties and proclaimed, "Listen carefully to me. I have cast a spell on you. It is a curse and a magic word is the key. If someone, even just one person on this earth says this word, terrible calamity will befall every one of you." The Grunties beseeched him, "Great Lord, and how may we ensure this calamity does not come to pass?" Soul nodded his head and answered, "You must not oppress others. You must not be bitter. You must not be envious. Have a good and pure heart and live your days peacefully." The secret word was told to all gods and all creatures except for humans. The gods were satisfied, and the Grunties were set down to earth. Without shedding a drop of blood, the Grunties stopped their violence from us humans, enjoyed the gods, created magical powers, and bestowed them upon the Grunties. But even with such great powers, Grunties did not fall prey to the sin of pride. The Grunties were loved by all creatures, the exception of the bitterly jealous humans. This is because all things that made Grunties so wonderful once belonged to the humans. Humans began to look for the Grunties' weakness and learned of the curse that Soul had cast on them. Overjoyed, the humans next set out to learn the secret word. But even the normally talkative monkey would not betray it. So the human had a banquet and invited all the gods and created in creatures in order to fog their minds with drinks. One after another, the guests became intoxicated until finally only the snake, the strongest drinker, remained. The snake would not divulge the secret word, so the humans brought out the strongest drink and gave it to the snake. As expected, the snake became drunk in time and told the secret word to the humans. The humans rejoiced and intoned the word. Immediately, the Grunties lost their intelligence and found themselves unable to stand upright. The humans called them Puti Pongo and made them into beasts of burden. Then they proceeded to rekindle their war against other races. For telling the secret word, the snake was punished by having to forever crawl on the earth on its stomach. The gods fell into despair after humans deed and created a gate called Moriku Baro and blocked off earthly access to the heavenly path so that none could evermore enter heaven. Along with the sealing of the heavenly path, the light of the gods was also blocked from the earth. Without the protection of the gods, the earth gradually became wilder, and began to be corrupt by the dark powers called the shadows. In the veiled influence of the shadows, the earth overflowed with monsters and demons. Those demons roamed the world and killed everything in their path. Many creatures were lost as a result of their brutality. Humans also came under attack by the monsters. They formed barriers in the major cities and closed themselves off. They fought against the monsters and lost battles after battle. One by one, cities were cut off from each other, and the barriers protecting cities were destroyed one after another. Finally, after 5 cities remained standing, the savior of mankind was a young apprentice magician. He confided himself in the temple of Arche Cullen and prayed to the gods. In exchange for his life, he was able to call upon the 6 great spirits and 2 goddesses. The 8 gods that were summoned were Vulcan, the fire spirit, Mero, the water spirit, Craig, the wood spirit, Yarthkins, the earth spirit, Lancer, the lightning spirit, Wineneck, the darkness spirit, Anu, the star spirit, and Aurora, the goddess of light. The light of the gods shines once more and blessed the earth, and the shadow was contained. Thanks to the newfound peace, humans once again prospered, and it did not last long. Once the threat of shadows was gone, the humans began to fight with each other. After sealing shadows, the 8 goddesses remained on Earth. Some were angered by the foolishness of humans, and others grieved their wretchedness and left, until finally only Aurora remained. Fearing that the light of the heavens would again depart the Earth, humans faced 8 cures on Aurora and sealed her inside the whole Grant's Cathedral. When the gods learned that the goddess had been imprisoned, their fury knew no bounds, and they vowed to destroy mankind. But the humans had no intention of meekly succumbing to extinction, and used their magic power to devise a weapon that caused the fight against the gods, and began war between the gods and humans. The humans were no match for the power of the gods. The aerial city of Fort Olf fell from the sky, and the highland city of Dun Loyriag was crushed underneath it. The cultural city of Carmina Grandilisa was destroyed by the god of lightning. Many lives were lost. As a last resort, the humans took all of Roar's power, transformed it into magic power, and fired it at the heavens. Heaven was engulfed in flame, and gods fled or fell during burning to die upon the earth. The humans sacrificed much as well. The relic city, Liafail, from whence the goddess' power was fired, was reduced to ashes, and many excellent magicians died along with it, and so ended the age of the gods. All the gods of heaven disappeared, but a single god who remained on earth lived. This was the god of law, Falset, who guarded the gate and blocked the heavenly path. Winning the war against the gods, these humans wanted the wisdom and power of the gods for themselves, storming Morigu Baro and demanding that Falset invite them to the realm of the gods. But Falset refused to grant them entry. At first, the humans pointed their weapons at Falset and demanded that he open the gate, but Falset answered thus: "Do whatever you wish. There is no way any of your weapons can harm me." The humans followed his word and tried to attack Falset in any way they could, but they were unable to harm every single hair on his head. Once they learned that Force was hopeless, they tried to convince him to open the gates by seducing him with gifts. After seeing the gifts, Falset said, "Build a mountain of gifts for me if you wish. I'll make a mountain twice its size in an instant." Before Falset was even finished completing his sentence, a mountain of gifts, more lavish than the gifts of the humans, sprang up from their eyes. After learning that both forces Force and flattery were no avail. The humans got to their knees and begged pathetically. If a power greater than the shadows should emerge, we would fall into ruin. But if we could remain in wisdom and power that lies beyond this gate, we could be able to protect ourselves and not fight one another. So please open the gate. Fawcett laughed and answered them. Was it not you who took the sword and shield and slew the gods? You should suffer for your sins. Protesting, the humans reply, so are you saying that we should have simply allowed the gods to drive us to extinction? Fawcett shook his head and answered, recall first the sins that you committed. It is not just the sinners receive judgment? To this, the humans could make no reply. Fawcett continued to speak, but all beings have the right. All beings have the right to atone for their sins. Human, child, sin. If you want this gate to open, and bring back the lost gods, the gods will rise again, born from the dogma of believers. If they are true gods, and I will open this gate, bring back what has been lost, and only then can you be pardoned. And so the humans argued over the gods' rebirth, and once again made war against each other. Without the gods, the world fell into stagnation. With none to command them, the sun stood in place, and the tide ceased to ebb and flow. The looms gave forth no thread, and often no warmth. Mankind now had to perform all these functions themselves. Despite these hardships, humans did not cease their war with each other. Soon they invented different types of magical tools to improve their lives. 10 years after the Great War with the gods, a researcher visited the ruins of Fort Oluf. Many had avoided the ruins of Fort Oluf, Leofale, Carmina, Linsa, and Dun Loriag. After the Great War, in fear of hatred, they were haunted by the spirits of the dead gods and goddesses. This belief was further enhanced by the fact that most who set out to explore the ruins never came back. However, this particular researcher did return, and he brought along with him a creature from the body of a human, and the head of a tail of an animal. The creature was a beast. First, humans and beasts were friendly with each other, but while the beast reverted nature in old ways, the humans were too innovative. It was the beast who first discovered the creatures called the Chim-Chims. When the beast saw the light of the gods and Chim-Chims, they decided to revere them as a legacy of the gods. But the humans captured the Chim-Chims to do research, and after discovering a way to extract energy from them, used them to invent steam machines. The beast protested this treatment of them, for the humans would not listen. As the humans used the steam technology advanced, they abandoned magic as old, obsolete. The beast continues to fear magic culture and reject the steam technology. Humans scoffed at the beast, and for being stubborn and small-minded, the beast came to despise the humans' foolishness. Eventually, the beast decided they could not leave the god to rebirth to the fulls and proclaimed that they too would participate in the god's rebirth. Fawcett granted their participation. Humans were outraged. They believed the god's rebirth was their right. sides and antagonism towards each other began to deepen and finally broke out, and then finally war broke out. Humans gathered their armies and steam weapons, but found their weapons produced lagging behind desperately. That's desperate. They built a great factory of Bragg Epona, and still they were unable to create the necessary weapons. Beasts were mighty in the way of magic, but small in numbers. They were unable to marshal a large enough army. Humans were weaker, even more numerous. Beasts were stronger, but fewer in numbers, and the war continued to rage on. Eventually, both humans and beasts grew tired of the long years of war. However, neither side were able to strike a decisive blow, and none knew the way to stop the cycle of war and bring the entire gruesome conflict to an end. And in this never-ending cycle, a new faction was born. Composed of both humans and beasts, the new faction concentrated on pure pursuits and power of incorporating the crest technology desired by humans and steam technology loathed by beasts. Both humans and beasts feared that this new faction would enter the war, and each side were emissaries to the other and called for a ceasefire. At first, both races were hesitant, but they were forced to accept the sheer toll brought on by the war. And so, the war between the two races ended, but the conflict continued. Beasts continued to insist in participating in the gods' rebirth. And the new faction proclaimed their participation as well. Humans chanted for steam technology and innovation. Beasts were for crest technology and tradition. But the new faction from the pure pursuit of power. They began a quiet, colder war. No winning was decided in this war, since no gods were born from any of these forces. The three-way war smoldered, and in time, the faction came to be called as the following. The innovators, Ogmios, the conservatives, Teotates, the pursuers. To this day, the three-way war knows no end, and it quickly drives the world even closer to its doom. They are the ancient race said to be the true descendants of the elves. Many humans have a tendency to look down on the beast and tribes because they are a primitive way of thinking and technology. The animosity between the two races has caused strife in the past. All humans have very average abilities, parameters, and are capable of doing just about anything. They are highly adaptable and able to handle all kinds of obstacles that face them. Beasts are a race of creatures with the body of a human and the head of the tail of an animal. They place their high value in technology and culture from the ancient times and tend to resist innovations. As a result, steam technology has yet spread to their cities. Beasts are separated into these three tribes and are differentiated by their appearance and abilities parameters. Although the beast possess amazing ability and skills in some areas, there are some extreme vulnerabilities in others. They pose fierce unity in front of the tribes and overcome vulnerabilities. There are some who protest the treatment of the elves and hands to the gods. These were the elves who created who had not wished to challenge the gods and begin with. They stormed the heavenly path and threw themselves before the gods, crying, why must you punish us when we who drew our swords, when not we who drew our swords against you? The gods answered, this is true, but that is not the only sin. Those asked, what do you mean by that, O gods? Gods answered back with, very well, then we must find the gods restored the elements and read then the gods with anger. Beasts are roughly divided into the following 3 tribes. Yaw tribe. Beasts of the Yaw tribe are fairly large bodies. Although they have bodies in hard as steel, they are capable of resisting physical damage. They have limited understanding of magic and highly vulnerable against magic attacks. Lay tribe. The beasts of the Lay tribe possess bodies similar to the proportions of a human and have a quickest reflexes and speed. Also, like humans, they are average physically and magical abilities, and they are slightly less resilient. 2 tribe. Beasts of the 2 tribe are smaller than the others and are highly sensitive to and possess great magical abilities and wisdom, but their bodies are much more fragile, and they pose among no resistance to physical attacks. Non-playable characters. The gods and goddesses created the rule of the world long ago, mostly slain in the past wars. Only 2 of them have been confirmed to exist this day. God Law, Fulset. Fulset guards the Marigubaru wall that blocks the heavenly path. It says that those who are worthy can open up the gates and enter the land of the gods. The city of Dawn, Sel Tri. Sir Nunos, the Lord dead. Sir Nunos was defeated by his older brother Sol, the god of creation, and was sealed in the kingdom of the dead. Refusing to recognize his own death, Sir Nunos appealed to his brother 7 times and brought back lands to the living. All 3 times, his pleas were denied. Furious, he led an army of dead against Rai, city of Dawn, in order to force Sol to return his soul back to his body. But when he tried to cross to the lake of the dead of Dulgulent Wall, the roots of the white great giant tree Haldegud came down and blocked the path. Sir Nonus thus forced to return to the kingdom of the dead. And it is said that Sir Nonus still plots his return to the land of living and rule over it. The monsters of the world are said to be his pawns. Virtual Vista is a machine doll created by Steam Technology and created as domestic servants by humans. They have high dexterity and are capable of operating complex devices and that even humans have difficulties with. They are also equipped with self-awareness, equal to those that to a child, and are unable to judge matters and are able to judge matters on their own. Recently, some Vita Vistas have come to possess self-awareness very close to humans. They have become self-efficient and started to disobey command issued by their masters, so now live independently in towns and have jobs. More and more humans are now worried that eventually the vital Vistas will revolt against them. Grantis are famous with the triangular hats, famous for their triangular hats and their distinctive speech. They were cursed by Sol, the god of creation, and returned into Pucci Pongo and became beast of the burden for humans. However, they assumed their original form when humans defeated the gods. They often trust general positions of important facilities, assist as secretaries to VIPs due to the peaceful nature and excellent communication abilities. Chim-chims are the only creatures capable of producing chim spheres, and raw material needed to utilize team technology. Most chim-chims are quite timid and tend to flee when most encounter other races, but some are more aggressive in nature and will attack the other races they may encounter. Elves are a race that died out long ago. They're said to be the ancestors of humans and beasts. Spirits are tiny sprites that inhabit steam and forest. Magic spells harness their powers. Three main factions currently oppose each other in the world. Arvakos, the humans, Ogmios, the beast, and two Teutates comprise of both humans and beasts. These three forces sometimes fight and sometimes cooperate with each other in a three-way war. With their steam technology and innovative ways of thinking, the Arvakos are repressed by the symbol of represented by the symbol of the shining sun. Centered around the eternal city of Anu and the dual city of Brag Apona, they are led by a man named by Ishmael. Although directly opposed by the Ogmios, they exchange steam technology and the two Teutates in exchange for better weapon manufacturers. Impose the beast with the crest technology and in conservative ways. Ogmios is represented by a great gate in the magic circle, centered around the celestial city of Doldana. They are led by a woman from the two tribe named Bibu Babu. They directly oppose the Arvakos, and they exchange crest technology with the Teutates in exchange for manpower. Teutates are a mixed force of humans and beasts with a pure hunger for power. The symbol is the roaring lion and staff, centered around the warring cities. Lumina Cloth. Their leader is a young male named Azif. They receive steam technology by manufacturing weapons from the Arvakos, and received crest technology from the Ogmios by providing military support. Adventurers are a mercenary force formed by the two Teutates. Most adventurers join small-scale war bands called guilds and work from within them. In exchange for being allowed to use space at home or borrow bikes, adventurers guild promise to support Teutates. Also, guilds that contribute greatly to Teotihuacans are given the right to use one of the 3 castles owned by the Teotihuacans. Among the adventurers, some who wish to rise to the top of the Teotihuacans and perform God's rebirth themselves. Wait. Monsters are controlled by the shadows that lurk inside the root towns. Most monsters appear when the 6 great spirits, the 2 dark goddesses, are victorious over the shadows. But they begin to increase in strength after the humans destroy the gods. Goblin rookies are goblins that just begin appointed to their duties. They have not received much training and are unable to guard against enemy attacks. With physical abilities much lower than veterans warriors, they are easily defeated. However, they are still warriors and can easily overpower the adventurer by sheer numbers. Gun giants are monsters with large cannons on their arms. Their blindness allows them to have exceptional hearing and can detect even the faintest sounds around them, their intended target. Despite the large size, they are agile and can jump up and fire over a wide area. Large demon-type monsters its face has no eyes, ears, and nose, only a gaping mouth. It swings its large arms and attack its opponents. It is a lower class demon monster, but the large ring of light on its back hints that perhaps at one time it used to be a divine creature, and was some reason reborn as a demon. I suppose they're currently investigating this possibility. The spearfish get a name from the long horn on its forehead, and in the swimming motion it makes while gliding through the air. The elastic horn and skin are flavored with alchemy materials. Some adventurers even hunt them exclusively for this purpose. Vag jugglers are creatures that are created when swords that were left behind in the battlefield are possessed by the souls of dead soldiers. Hence they are first inanimate objects. Some scholars believe that they should technically be classified as monsters. It is believed that the dead souls that do not realize that they are dead and still stay on the earth until the sword they possessed are broken. It is also said that the Vac juggler will suck the souls of those who have been struck by its blade. Because of this, even seasoned adventurers hesitate to fight this monster. Ravenclaws are bird monsters that are with one leg and beak divided into 4 parts. Although they have three eyes on their head, they suffer from poor vision. They normally feed on large monster carcasses, but may hunt prey in packs during mating season. Grumple Tree is a gigantic monster that looks like a tree stump. Its large force that on the side and is said to communicate through facial expressions. Though it has a mouth, it is only used to convey its facial expressions. The tree is in fact incapable of speech. Branches, leaves, and trunk are all used for alchemy, with virtually no wasted parts. This is difficult to tackle with monsters as a solo player, but it is advised to attack it with a group. Vac fangs are dog-shaped monsters with enormous teeth. They were once stray dogs that were abandoned by their own masters and transformed into monsters with the power of shadows. They harbored deep anger towards humans who abandoned them. Although they seem to be proficient in physical attacks, they are also versatile in magic attacks, with the power of the charms that surround their manes. It was recently discovered that adventurers that these charms were not created by shadows, and instead were purposely placed on them by an individual. The culprit is still unknown at this time, but both the Alchemios and Tuatates are investigating. Steam shells are weapons that were left behind after being used in the war between humans and beasts. They are transformed into monsters by the shadows. Monsters systematically attack without any emotion. It is one of the most hated monsters by adventurers. Alchemios have repeatedly requested that Vakov to take responsibility for steam shells, but so far the Vakov have evaded answering them, and have only said they are all looking into the solution. Fever horse gets its name from the head, which is shaped like a horse. It used to be a small creature that dwelled in the ocean, but after becoming infected with the power of the shadows, it now lives on the land. This has resulted in a massive increase of body size. It is also known as the Fire Lance by some adventurers due to the powerful fire attacks it launches with the power of the orb hidden in its chest cavity, as well as the quick, piercing attack from the spear-shaped exoskeleton. The ruby cutter is a giant crab with a human face. It is said that even cats avoid the corpses of ruby cutters due to the ugly appearance, foul smell, and rotten taste. Although some shells may be exceedingly strong alchemy material, they are avoided by most adventurers because of the result of the purulent odor. The He-Cud's tonfoot may look like a rhinoceros, but originally it was actually a turtle that was turned into a monster by the shadows. Its head is covered by a sturdy shell, and the power to pulverize trees and rocks with a single blow. Normally, He-Cat tonfoots are quite docile, but if they are attacked, they will retaliate and attack anything around them. Their rampages are very violent and too much for warriors with light armor and clerics. During your initial character creation, you can select a job class from that character. Character jobs cannot be changed afterwards. Twin blades have high ability attack with two swords. The rapid attacks leave no opening for the opponent to counterattack. Blade brigaders fight with a sword similar to the katana. It is said that the warrior class derived from this class. Although their abilities are average, they can adapt to a wide variety of situations. Edge punishers are a job class that prefer to wield giant swords. A blow from one of these weapons is enormous power. It can slice most enemies in half by a single stroke. Lord Partsians wield a giant lance. No other class can match their piercing power. They have a high defense power compared to the other classes and are weaker against magic. Tribal grapplers use their own fists as weapons. They have high ability so much as twin blades and possess high HP. However, their low defense values make it crucial to pay attention in battle. Slick creepers wield a giant scythe. Their specialty in attack is meant to keep multiple enemies away. However, they are effective at long range. Steam gunners use the steam guns that were developed by humans. They specialize in long-range attacks and are weak in close encounters. Their powerful weapons will keep most enemies away. Adept rogues are eventually capable of equipping various weapons and use all sorts of magic. However, each weapon must be learned separately, which requires the considerably time investment. Even so, the training will eventually pay off, making them highly adaptable to any situation. Harvest clerics are experts at healing magic and are allied with light spirits. They wield staff in battle and are named in the name of Ear, the goddess of tranquility. They can use some attack magic after they reach a certain level, but most can concentrate on healing and support magic. Shadow warlocks are experts in attack and are allied with dark spirits. They always carry a book with spells known as the grimoire to heighten their magic power, although they can also use some healing magic. Their repertoire is limited to not very efficient. Macabre dancers are experts at status and ability magic. Since they are aligned with both light and dark spirits, they are efficient in healing and attack magic. They hold large hands in both hands during battle. Their dancing form is said to enhance those who watch. There goes the governor with his fancy talk again, yeah. Hello, I'm the medic union leader, Hyo Red Yan. Since nice to meet you all, yeah. The medic union is a guild that was made to help people that are having a hard time in the areas, yeah. If they are people in the east with low HP and we heal them, yeah. If there are people in trouble in the west, we help them, yeah. Of course, having said that, there's no way we can cover all the areas just with us, yeah. That's why we look for other people who will help us help players, yeah. Our governor's a bit strange, but he's a good guy. So don't be afraid to come up and see us, yeah. We'll be waiting for you, yeah. Yeah. I'm Hyo Blue, the sub leader of the squad, as well as the one with the common sense, yeah. Strengthening the medical union, yeah. Go ahead, doesn't matter to me, yeah. Huh, yeah. Invite them to join, yeah. Fine, I guess I'll say something, yeah. Join the squad, yeah. think my way of speaking is awkward, Jan? Leave me alone, Jan.